different monk, because you know there are different monks all around the world.
Yeah.
But we're getting too far. The
Yeah.
premise of Avatar is that, let's go ahead.
It pretty much takes stuff from Naruto, Journey to the West, which you got to admit you didn't see that because of the entire thing.
Yes. And then finally takes a lot of premises from the wars that we have fought and put in this alternate world that I actually love.
It's kind of a mixture between feudal Japan and how China was back in
and Europe even. Let's go ahead and add Europe.
Yeah, because the Fire Nation was kind of like Kill the Hun.
Well, it was a mixture between Attila the Hun
and the Romans
and World War II era Japan.
Yeah, or really more like Hitler.
No. Legend of Korra. They had their Hitler, but we're going to touch on that after Last Airbender. Now, Last Airbender, the premise of it is that the Fire Nation has been fighting this war for 100 years, which really questions how people...
Wait a minute, I got a question. Didn't the war start before Aang left? Because no, because the person that started the war killed the previous Avatar before Aang.
Yes.
And nobody's saying that was kind of suspicious?
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up.
Because
yeah, that was pretty fucked up. Which then, here's where it gets a little bit better. Well, better and worse, what have you. Now, let's go ahead and touch on the animation, because the animation is superb.
Yep.
And everybody argues, is it Japanese animation? Is it American animation? It's a mixture of
It's kind of like how some cartoons are in now, like Young Justice.
Yes.
It's pretty much American animation with tips from Eastern.
But what I love about it is the creator is, in fact, Japanese. A lot of people don't know that. They keep forgetting he's Japanese. Well, okay, Japanese-American, but still.
He still has Asian in his blood, but don't mean he's ever been to Japan, though.
No, it doesn't. No, it does show that he takes heavy cues from amazing animes. And I actually read this. He actually takes cues from Berserk. He actually takes cues from...
Naruto.
Obviously Naruto. A lot of Shonen Jump animes, but he takes cues from the past.
Except for one thing.
What?
Aang does not get more powerful the more naked he gets. Seriously, that is in every single Shonen Jump anime.
Oh, I hate
Dude's
so
butt-ass naked, leave him alone. Because he's going to kill you with his pinky.
Now, let's just go ahead and say this now. The actual story is very original. 100-Year War, one hero to save them all, except it's not Highlander. They don't go
Aang
around...
can get killed. The Avatar cycle can end. Aang is not really the most powerful. He's just the most diverse character in.
Yes. And speaking of characters, this show actually makes you care for the characters. And I am not...
some of the characters. Some I could really get two shits about.
Now, the main characters themselves, Zuko, Aang, Katara, Toph, Sokka.
I didn't really care about Sokka.
Sokka is the comical relief, and I'll admit, he does have pretty good jokes.
Yeah.
He does have some really decent good lines.
Although they kind of underplay. I mean, they could have had this badass non-bender, but instead they kind of went with the class clown.
Yeah. Now, what I really loved about it was fucking Dante Bosco! I know what a lot of you are already saying. Dante Bosco, who is that? Let's see here. He played as Jake Long, American Dragon, Disney. Now, yes, that was kind of racy. I'm not gonna lie, that was really racy, and that.
Well, I just hate the fact is that they changed the art style from good to shit.
Yeah, in the second, not second season.
It was third, I think.
Third or fourth season, they changed the animation up, and I hate it.
Yeah, it made Aang look like a Western or Eastern dragon instead of a Western.
Yeah, and then finally, what came to pass, which I hated, Robin Williams' death, but Dante Bosco had a role in his career as well, playing in Hook. And then he's had tons of things. He's a break dancer. He's a rapper. He really is a rapper, and he does have really good raps. He's all around.
Voice acted in quite a few different things.
Yes, and a ton of things, and I love it. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy actually got a chance to voice act in some awesome anime.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, he was in some of the filler arcs in Naruto and Bleach, I think.
Oh, yeah. How'd I miss him?
Subtle.
Damn! Damn you, Dante Bosco! Damn you!
Like the voice actor for Tom, you can miss him in some of his voice acting.
Damn it! Well, outside of that though, Dante Bosco, I really did love the characters. And the sheer fact that M. Night Shyamalan got his hands on that, that's something we're going to talk about later on in the video. Now, compared to the past, there's nothing to compare.
No. Unless you really want to compare it with Naruto or Dragon Ball Z.
Even then, it's hard to compare.
I guess you could compare it to He-Man and Thundercats, maybe?
Even then, it wouldn't touch any basis with
No,
them.
because they're not similar.
No, and they...
Because pretty much, Aang isn't fine with resistance. This is pretty much Terminator. Everything's fucked from the beginning. There's really no climbing your way up. It's just trying to sneak around everything and
in a sense, they've taken like the the Fire Nation itself is basically ideology World War II Japan, where it's basically fight for your emperor, you die for your emperor. It's
don't question your fucking emperor.
Yeah, don't question your.
Of course, technically, you still ain't allowed to do that.
No. And then what's funny is that they actually did take cues from history, like when Zuko questioned his father.
Yeah.
Real world history here. Stalin's son questioned Stalin, and then his ass was thrown in jail, while Zuko was banished.
Yep. Well, it really wasn't so much of him questioning his father. He questioned Commander Zhao. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he had to fight his father because he questioned him in his courtroom instead of Zhao's.
Yeah, which was pretty fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Now, here's one a lot of people that miss, except for us history buffs. The series goes on through 3 books. You got air, fire...
Pretty much it goes through the
elements.
Well, yeah. Well, not just that, but it also goes through the 4 major Eastern countries, because you have pretty much Mongolia, India, China, and Japan.
Yes, and then Japan, which is technically the Fire Nation. Holy hell!
Yeah, the Earth Nation is kind of Mongolia.
Mongolia mixed with China. Ming Dynasty China, which I like.
India would be kind of like the air nomads, because they don't really want to mess with anybody.
Yeah, and then finally, when it came to the Fire Nation and the Water Nation, which the Water Nation
was passive. They were like China was during World War II. They just bent over and let them shove it right up there.
Now, when they got to the North Pole,
they were trying to just ignore it all, because they believe that they couldn't have been invaded.
Now, this can actually be related to a lot of historical things, like, oh, they're never going to invade France, oh, they're never going to sink the Titanic, oh, they're never going to do this, never going to do that. There's always those naysayers.
They never sank the Titanic. Wait a minute, that was an ice block that sunk the Titanic. They said the Titanic cannot be sunk.
Exactly, you get what I'm saying.
Just like pretty much it means just because it's probably not going to happen don't mean it can't.
And then the Northern Nation can be related to a lot of other nations of the past where they had old Fire Nation armor that was like, what, years old?
I think it went right back to Avatar Suki.
Oh, God,
which was 200 years ago.
Yeah, so thankfully enough, and this can be related to a lot of nations that had a lot of old tech from when the Germans invaded or when the Russians invaded, what have you. And, thank you. And they were saying, oh, this is what it looked like, until one guy steps in and goes like, no, they are more advanced than that, than you give them credit for.
Well, I really don't know about the armor. Yeah. I don't think it's more advanced. They just changed the design.
Yeah, they changed it, and that's what was kind of funny for me.
Because then usually in medieval or feudal times, depending on what emperor you have at the time is what style of armor you have.
Yeah, that's basically how it was. And what I love about Avatar: The Last Airbender was how meaningful it was, and how
Aang still should have killed him.
Yeah, but at the same time, Zuko wouldn't have been able to find out where his mother was.
Oh, he still could probably find out.
If his batshit crazy possible rapist sister didn't.
Well, I doubt that she knew. I'm pretty sure that she actually thought. Yeah. But you can't tell me that there wasn't people that didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Stalin Stalinism. I understand that Stalin, like, if he sent people off, nobody knew where the hell they went, but...
Because most of the time he just simply took them out back and just blew their brains out.
But when you're in a possible feudal era style thing where
there's hell, the capital was overpopulated pretty much.
Yeah.
You can't tell me there wasn't at least one fucking person that saying what was going on.
Yeah. Now, as for the characters I said before, we all cared about them. General Iroh. Perfect example of do not underestimate the old man.
Yeah, he's kind of like Soha.
Or, oh my god, what was his
name?
Oh god.
He's pretty much the old guy that just sits around, don't do much, but you know for a fact if you piss him off, he will stomp you into the ground.
And kill your ass.
Yep. Well, he probably wouldn't do it, but he would still be powerful enough to kick you.
Yes.
Like Head Captain Yamamoto from Bleach.
Oh god, yes. Yes. Now, here's
May he rest in peace.
Yes. Now, here's where it gets... Hate you. Now, this is where it gets a little bit better. As the series goes on, it actually progresses the war effort. It basically says, okay...
Yeah, it comes from pretty much no hope whatsoever to a slow crawl, to a full-on run, to they're lucky that they actually won.
Yeah. And when the final season came, it went on full-blown WW2 to WW1.
Although I got to say this, Season 3 was... I didn't see much of Season 3 because they weren't... Nickelodeon moved it to Nicktoon, so
yeah,
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, but they went on full-blown WW1 to WW2, and this sucker was bad. I'm talking they had... The final battle was tanks, D-Day, this all sorts of...
It was pretty much what you would imagine hell being.
The perfect example...
This is putting the blade to the grindstone.
Yes, and when I saw the beach landing scene, I was like... Okay, where's the machine guns? I'm waiting for somebody to go, what's that? To start mowing down people. And, oh my god. I immediately remembered the level from Medal of Honor D-Day, where the freaking doors drop and people start blowing up all around you, and it's like, oh fuck! But another one of my friends actually compared it to Nom.
Although I do got a question, the lion turtle, how is he staying hidden so easily? He's a fucking 250-pound metric ton turtle that's the size of an island, and it moves.
You really want to try and question that when you can't? When you couldn't even try and answer who the fuck Toph's husbands were?
Huh?
Never mind. That's for Legend of Korra. Now, when the ending finally came, and we all wanted to finally get a resolution, the fucking thing gave us a big slap in the face of Zuko walking up to his father in a cage and saying, "Where's my mother?" And
then here comes the comics.
Yes! And
although, I don't care. I really didn't care where his mother was. I hate to say it.
And then we finally...
Although, if you actually read the comic, Zuko turned to be a little bit batshit crazy.
Yes, and then finally, one thing that we hated, well, not really hated, that actually spawned a god knows how much pornography, was just the fucking innuendos.
Yep.
And then the crazy emo bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the limber bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Zula, who may possibly be a masochist, or sadist, or dominatrix, or...
Why was she ever in Legend of Korra?
I think it's because she may be dead. Or... possibly in an insane asylum. I don't know.
But she was... No, have you never read the books?
I'm going to. That's what I'm going to
She was still alive in them. Yeah. I guess she did die of old age. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, when the series ended, we were chomping at the bit for a resolution. We were chomping at the bit for another Avatar series. We wanted to know what was going to happen.
Then we got this.
Legend of Korra.
It's not as good as Avatar, no.
Story-wise, no. Animation-wise...
Because here's the thing. I will blame this on the fact that they didn't think they were going to be able to get more than one season.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, it would have been better if Amun was actually a dark Avatar. Like, Batu actually got out, and it turns out he was able to bend the elements just like Korra.
Yes. And then... what would have been better is if fucking Funimation had their hands on this, because Funimation would have made it gold.
Well, I just think that anybody other than Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Toonami, Disney, hell, let Disney do it.
Yes!
Although, if Disney did get its hands on it, it'll be more like Saw.
Yeah.
Why do you guys keep doing that? Everything you get your hands on, you make it bloody. You're for kids. What the hell?
I don't know. Now, here's something else. Animation-wise, Legend of Korra, once again, animation...
was better than Avatar.
Superb! On the levels with High School of the Dead almost, or even Attack on Titan, or even Dead Man's Wonderland, or even Death Note. Those are the levels... Or, hell, no. It was near the levels of Cowboy Bebop animation. I know that's blasphemic. Fuck you guys, that's just what I'm comparing it to.
I don't think Cowboy Bebop had nowhere near as good. I would say it would probably be right around Young Justice. Because it was modern day.
Well, yeah. Which, speaking of which, the time it was set in was beautifully well done.
Yep.
1930s. The Turn of the Revolution. Or, no, not Turn Revolution. Good God.
That was pretty much the end of the oil barons.
Yeah, like the 1920s,
Flapper girls and all that.
Yeah, and
it was pretty much the turn of modern day.
And then they had to rub it in with the I can't even say it without a straight face of raging and laughing. They did it with the person who sounded like this. With the Hindenburg and the White Brothers and the Fang. Yes, they actually had that guy. And then we actually got to see the guy.
Yep.
And I swear to God, he narrates his whole life. Because even when, and I know this is spoilers, but even when he's being attacked, he goes like, "The man is in the booth. He is putting a shark thing. I am winning my pants. I have been shocked."
How was he able to talk after that, I wonder?
It's like one of those people who takes their jobs way too seriously.
Yep.
But the time period itself, the sound design, the animation, the
they
voice
still haven't figured out how to make guns.
No.
Of course, technically, that would be... because you have to do this entire motion to bend the elements, and Duke can just...
Now, here's what I love, though. Its story revolves around the next Avatar, which, how we are introduced to this chick...
is somewhat stupid. I will say that. It is.
And then her parents.